So I'm replying to Shaenna's video today. She covered a lot of it, so I'm going to respond to a bit of it and also just say my own things. Okay, okay, so one of the first things Shaenna said in her video was that it is far better to transition in life than to not do it at all. I have notes today, so I'm just going to stay on topic. So it is far better to transition in life than to not do it at all. I agree wholeheartedly with that. She also said that it was a necessity rather than an option, and I agree with that, but not in the way she meant it, so I'm going to talk about those. I didn't know what I was. I was really not sure at all. I couldn't tell. I wanted to be able to tell, but I couldn't tell. And so what was necessary for me was that figuring out of what I was. And I tried to do that. It didn't quite pan out the way I expected, because I'm still trying to figure it out. But for some it's the transition that's the necessity, and for others it's the figuring it out. Probably once I figure it out, whatever changes that still need to be made will be made. But yeah, I really agree that if it feels like a necessity, you've got to do something. You can't just, well, maybe you can put it off. There's a lot of reasons to put it off, and I'll talk about those in a second, but those reasons and probably a few others that neither I nor Shaenna covered aside, you should do it. You should absolutely go for it, because you will probably end up regretting it if you don't. I'm not that old, so I can't say for sure, but just, I mean, it seems like if something is that important to you and you keep not doing it, then you're going to have a problem somewhere along the line, and it's going to nag at you forever. I know people like say with like a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, who wasn't actually a girlfriend or boyfriend, and they always say, oh, I should have asked her out. I should have asked her out. And maybe they end up marrying somebody else, but they always regret never asking that one person out. And it's something they wonder, like, what if for the rest of their life, and that's no good. But I think this is kind of along the same lines. So reasons to wait. Shaenna covered money issue. You need financial stability. That's absolutely necessary if you're going to do, if you're younger, anything that might get you kicked out of the house, like coming out. If you're older and on your own, you need that financial stability to be able to go on hormones and have surgeries and stuff, because those are expensive. Very expensive. I'm really regretting that right now, because I'm not quite out of the house, but I also, so I have a lot of financial backing from my parents, but those are two things they will not financially back for me, which is, I guess, understandable. It's also regrettable. But I didn't get kicked out, which is good. So, yeah. Another reason is having a safety net. I began questioning or figuring things out in 11th grade. I've said it a few times. In 11th grade. But I didn't say anything. I was really terrified. I didn't feel like I had a safety net like Shaenna was talking about. I had no plan, I had no safety net. I felt like waiting until college. That would be my safety net, getting out of the house, just in case the worst happened. I would have someplace to go, I would figure it out from there. So it wasn't much of a plan, but it was a plan. I really should have come out to my parents before I left for college, by the way. Definitely should have done that. But then hindsight is 20/20, so, you know. Another reason I waited was fear. I was absolutely terrified. Partly of my family's reaction. There really wasn't any reason I should have been, but I was terrified of my family's reaction. I was terrified they might hate me, that they might kick me out. I was terrified that they might try and possibly even succeed in convincing me not to do anything. And that was my biggest fear, that they would convince me to not do anything. Which plays on that necessity rather than options thing. Sorry, it's hard to talk when my throat's like lifted up like this. Anyway, so that was my biggest reason for... I didn't really wait very long. I waited like 1.5 years, but that's why I waited that 1.5 years. It was fear. So then why didn't I wait? Why did I not wait? Why did I go through with it when I did? Well, because I had that safety net Shaenna was talking about. It wasn't a great safety net, but I felt like it was. Anyway, but mostly I didn't wait because I was uncertain. I couldn't figure out what was right. I couldn't figure out who or what I was. And I needed to know. I wanted to know, and I absolutely felt like I needed to know. It just ate at me every single day. It was pretty bad. I felt that when I started college was going to be my last good chance. I didn't think I'd be able to do it otherwise. I thought if I missed out then that I would continue missing out for the rest of my life, that I wouldn't have the guts to ever go through with it. And I might not have. I really might not have. I'm not... Once I start doing something, I generally follow through with it, but getting me started to do something is not terribly easy. And so if I hadn't done that then, I might not have done it. And I'm really glad I did. Because my entire life, I had this overwhelming need to be myself, to figure out who I was, what I was, and I was looking in completely the wrong direction. I mean, Shaenna said she made a good guy, but didn't want to be one. I was the opposite. I made a really good girl. I just hated it. Once I figured out there was potentially another option, I couldn't stand it. It was awful. It was just... I mean, I'm bipolar anyway, but that just threw me down so far for such a long time. It was really bad. Anyway, so that's why I didn't wait. No, as to the uncertainty, I know I had this dream last night. I forget where I was going, but in the dream I was going somewhere. Somewhere I was supposed to dress up for, and I put this dress on. It was weird. It's a dress I actually had, except it was bigger so that it would actually fit me the way, because I had it when I was like 9. And my mom commented on it, and that was the first time I realized what was going on. And I said, oh, weird. So I changed and put a suit on, but I was trying to explain it to her because she was freaking out again and didn't understand. My parents kind of freaked out when I first told them, especially my mom. She was just like, I could see her going like, no. It was kind of bad for a while. They were trying to be supportive, but they were in denial and therefore were not very good at it. But yeah, so I tried to explain it to her, like, I had been a girl for so long that I was like completely ingrained in me and it was still stuck there. But I didn't want it to be there because it was wrong for me. In the dream I didn't explain that very well, but now that I'm awake and conscious, I think I can explain it as, I had an analogy. It's like having toxins in your body, kind of. And your liver is kind of overburdened and can't quite clear them out of your system. That's kind of what it feels like to me. Or maybe, yeah. So that, I think, is an acceptable analogy of what I went through and am going through, and why I couldn't wait. Because it was a lot like having toxins in my system that my body couldn't clean out. I just couldn't stand it. I needed to do something. So, yeah, I have no advice. I probably shouldn't be giving advice, but it's really hard to go wrong with do what's best for yourself. Just sit down, think about it, write out the pros and cons. Maybe writing out the pros and cons is a bad thing. That might convince you not to do something you really should. Has done that to me on occasion. But maybe it'll help. I mean, figure out... I'd not just ask yourself every day, and you'll figure it out eventually.